Why does Europe Aid want to utilize European taxpayer money to fund development in developing countries?
Yes, exactly. Well, that's a very interesting question, mainly in these times of crisis, which comes back a lot to us. I guess if you were working in this area maybe 10 years ago, the people will wonder a bit less why it's important to help developing countries. It's true that now, today, it's becoming a very acute question when you see what's happening in Greece or in eastern countries such as Latvia, which are very poor as well. So we definitely are aware that we have to explain, we have to justify. One thing which is for sure is that the level of poverty we have in Europe is much less important, big, substantial than the poverty which is taking place in Africa, for instance. In Africa, in some countries, they are really lacking of any basic social services. They don't have access to water, they don't have access to health. So we have to consider the difference between the levels of poverty. That being said, of course, the EU is helping a lot its own member states. We have a big amount of money to help those countries in the EU which are the poorest, to help them to bridge up the gap with other countries. So the solidarity within the EU is a reality. Now, we have to, of course, help as well other developing countries, I would say for two main reasons. First, because it's kind of moral duty that you don't want to leave people die, you don't want to leave people without any food. When people see on TV some big catastrophe or natural disaster, you would see the big generosity wave that this is raising up, like I'm thinking, of course, of Haiti, or even Pakistan, or when hunger strikes in Nigeria, the people will really be moved and will help this country by giving their own funds, small money, a lot of money, whatever. But it's really it creates something. So this is of course one of the reasons that we have to help the others which are in need. The EU cannot stay behind its borders and say, look, just take care of yourself. But beyond this, there is of course another reason, which is it is in our mutual interest that we don't have any interest in the EU to let countries falling into poverty. Because, as we know, poverty would be the root of pandemics, of massive or illegal immigration, of trafficking, gender trafficking, women trafficking, drug trafficking, maybe even terrorism. All kind of extremism will be rooted within poverty. When people are poor, when people don't have any future or any hope, of course, they can easily fall in this kind of extremism behavior, which is bad for everybody, for Africa, for developing countries, and for the EU. So we believe that investing in aid, because it's an investment, it's not only charity, is one of the smartest investments we can do, because we have to help each other so that the whole world basically can grow, can be safer, can be more environmentally safer as well. So it's really, we all have an interest in that. So that's why we believe that taxpayers' money are definitely not badly spent, and the investment is returning back in the EU.